This is the Art Marketing Minute with Eric Rhoads, author of the Amazon best-selling book, Make More Money Selling Your Art. In the Marketing Minute, we answer your questions to help your art career. Brought to you by artmarketing.com, the place to go to learn more about marketing. Now, here's your host, Art Magazine publisher, Eric Rhoads.
Thank you, Jim Kipping, and thank you for joining us today. I am here. My goal is to eliminate the idea of the starving artist. So let's get right to today's questions. Here's a question from Carla. I don't know where Carla's from. It says, how do I get my art seen? I live in a small town and they want my work. They just don't want to buy it. Now, Carla, you're not alone. Sometimes people value things more if they are at a distance. It's called the consultant's rule. You will not hire a consultant in your town, but you'll pay more for that person and hire them if they live 100 miles away, or even more if they're 1,000 miles away. It seems to be true in the art world too. So you're not alone. You know, people oftentimes think that buying art in New York is better. New Yorkers won't buy it in New York. They'll buy it in LA. You know, it's kind of funny. But, you know, it's true to some extent in people's heads. You know, they've got this hang up. So it can be a distance thing. So you could just be in a gallery elsewhere and then make a living, and that's a cool thing. Not everybody, though, wants it for free. Usually people who can't afford it want it for free. So I always say, stand in the river where the money is flowing. Find an affluent marketplace. Where do the people with money who could buy paintings hang out in your area? Do a show at a local affluent restaurant. Do a show at a high-end country club or a golf club or someplace, you know, hair salon where all the wealthy, affluent people go. Do something and you will sell. You will have success there, assuming your work is holding up, and you got to be ready to make sure it's holding up, but it probably is. And so people are willing to pay for things that are of quality, and so get it out there. The key to marketing is your presence. Get it known, build awareness, build your brand, and repeat. Do charity events, raise your profile, and it will raise your sales. Next question comes from Amanda. Amanda says, if I'm going to put some really big marketing dollars behind advertising, what is the biggest bang for my buck? Paid social media ads, printed publications, how much in each? 50-50 or 30-70, etc. Well, Amanda, I honestly can't answer that question because I don't know your strategy. And you can't answer it either till you know your strategy. You have to pick one single goal. This is the mistake everybody says. You know, they're like, well, I want to sell some paintings, but I also want to build my brand. And I also want to do this. I also want to do that. Pick one goal, because that one goal will determine how and why and where you spend your money. Now, you will get side benefits with one goal no matter what, but you have to focus on that one goal. So there are steps to each goal. Most goals of any substance take 2 to 3 years to accomplish, sometimes more, sometimes less. So what is the one thing you absolutely must get done in the next 3 years, as if your career depends on it? Because it does. In terms of how much each, don't make that mistake. Don't dilute your effectiveness. Now, I'm a big Facebook advertiser. I spent a huge amount of money just last week, but I also am a huge magazine advertiser, online advertiser. I do a lot of advertising for a lot of my projects because I'm a marketing guy. Of course I advertise, but I don't recommend you spend money in social media unless you have a giant war chest, a big war chest, and quite frankly, unless you know how to do it. You're competing to outbid companies for proper ad space, and honestly, I don't think it works very well for art. I've seen some people do it, but I'm not really convinced. And it can work well for branding, but you got to make sure you're branding to the right people. It's very expensive for branding. And I think the key to most media is that you want to own it, dominate it. One media property, one magazine, or one website, and dominate it for 3 or more years. And once you've dominated it, then you've got to keep your momentum and just kind of be committed to that. But once you're getting fruit out of it, then you can start spending money in other places as well. But if you divide it up, you're going to slow down your effectiveness. You're going to slow down, it's like I see people say, well, I'll buy a little in this issue and a little bit in this magazine, a little in that magazine, and then you dilute it and you're not being effective. People, the same exact people need to see you 7 to 10 times over and over and over again before they'll even make a decision to buy. So focus on dominating something. That's one of the reasons our magazines are in business. We teach people to dominate. Dominate. That's what will happen. And of course, you will see a huge shift in your career if you do it that way. But what happens? Happens so many times. People are like, I'm not seeing enough results fast enough. So they stop and they kill their momentum. And they've already got like 5 or 6 impressions. They just need a couple more impressions with certain people, and those people will start buying. But they back out too soon. It's very frustrating. Anyway, don't throw your money away. Advertising is expensive. You got to do it right. And only big advertisers like Coca-Cola or Mitsubishi or Mercedes or somebody can afford to dominate a lot of media. I can't afford to. You probably can't afford to. Some people can, but you dominate one thing first, keep it alive for years. It will pay volumes to you. Volumes. Anyway, I hope it's helpful. Well, this has been the Art Marketing Minute with me, Eric Rhoads. My goal in life is to eliminate the idea of the starving artist and to help your dreams actually come true. So if you want to submit questions, simply email eric@artmarketing.com. And to learn more about marketing ideas, you can visit artmarketing.com. Thanks for listening.